Good Thursday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. So good morning to you. Every now and then we try to bring in the youngsters here in our community to give the old folk confidence that everything's going to be okay in the future. So we do try to bring in some, like when students are recognized by their school systems and things, we try to piggyback off them and bring their stories out to you and learn why they're so special. And hopefully that's the case this morning with our guests. I want to introduce you to Madison Pate. Madison has written 3 books, recently launched her 3rd book in her Brick of Sound series. And we'll talk all about that. And she drug Mom in here, too. Her mom is Karen Stoutmire. And Karen, before I really introduce Madison, tell us a little bit about yourself. Because I'm guessing after you and I talking, I think a lot of people are going to know who you are or remember you.
Yes. As we were just stating, I also graduated from Carrollton High School all the way back in 1988. So I'm also an alumni of Carrollton High School. Before moving to Douglas County, I worked in the Carroll County school system where I was the principal of Villarica High School, and I also worked at the district office with federal programs. I currently work in Douglas County schools as the executive director of federal programs.
And that's because our guy Trent North must have stole you, right?
Yes, sir.
He did. We were friends with Trent. We do this from here. And the young lady here who's sitting to my right, her name is Madison Pate. Again, an author. She's in high school. She wrote her first book at age 13, and she just put out the 3rd of that series. So they're kind of a little bit of like. She also plays a saxophone, and I've learned that she's played several other instruments as well, composes music. And I was really excited to talk to her and get the story out to our community. Madison, good to see you. Thank you for coming out this morning. First of all, tell us something. Age 13, you came up with a book, and is this the Brick of Sound? Is this the first one or the 3rd one, Mom?
The first one.
This is the first one. This is the first book. So age 13 is when you put it out. So you must have had an idea for it before 13, right?
Yes.
And where'd that come from? Where did the desire? I mean, because I think, as a teenager, as a kid, I was always writing and doodling and thinking, all right, this is going to make me $1 million, but then just never pushed it, any further than that. How did tell us about your initiative and desire to write this?
So I've always wanted to write a book series. And
always, like since you were 1 or what?
Not since I was 1, but when I grew up, I always wanted to make a series like one that I've seen on television. So I had started writing, and I had asked my dad about it, and he said that he could help me get it published, and that's how it got out.
Now, I think when my son would ask me stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, do that, and I'll help you get it published. But I would have been really thinking, all right, he's going to give up on it. He's not going to push it forward, so I'm out of that problem. But you followed through, huh? How long did that take you to write?
I think this took me a little under 5 months.
Yeah, and that was the first book at age 13. And it's got pictures on it as well. Did you draw those, or did you have to hire somebody to do that, or a friend help out?
My dad found someone to draw it for me.
And the picture, I think, that I showed Facebook here a little bit ago, the character on it does have a Carrollton Trojan logo on the shirt. Well, tell us about it. The series, the first book, Brick of Sound, Series 1. Tell us about that story.
The first book is, we introduce the main characters of the story. There's about 20 plus of them, and it's a story about kids with superpowers who go and fight evil.
Using musical instruments?
No.
Okay. But the characters, are they based off of anybody?
They're loosely based off of friends that I had at the time.
Yeah. Well, how do they feel about that? I mean, just, little tributes. Are you letting go of little inside jokes and things like that?
Yes, a lot of those.
That maybe only they get when they read it? Yeah. So what have they told you about that? Are you getting more friends now after other people learn that you're doing this in books? Everybody wants to be your friend, and now the next book's going to have like 150 characters?
Not that I know of, but they think it's cool that they get a character that's like them in the book.
Very cool. And again, that first one, Brick of Sound, they're all a Brick of Sound series, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the second one called? What will that have on there?
Second one has Brick of Sound 2 on it.
Okay. And then the third one was just released in January of this year?
Yes.
And I know Carrollton High School made a big deal about it and let you have a little celebration and book signing. And everybody turned out for that. How many books do you think you signed there?
I don't know a number, but it was a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, the autographs. I think when I first started doing this show, maybe 15 years ago, I was just amazed with how, I don't want to say how easy it was to get a book published, but it seems like more and more people are able to do that, and it's very cool to see a 13-year-old that interested. Is that something that you want to keep doing? Is this just one little piece in your life, and now you're going to move on to making houses or something?
Well, as soon as I finished this book series, I was planning on taking a long break and then maybe releasing a few short stories related to the story after that.
So this could go on forever then, as far as connection. Would you want to see it? You were talking about you were kind of motivated after seeing movies and I guess TV series. Would you like to see that go on to something like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you talked about the next steps for that? Are you nudging Dad to make that happen?
We've talked about it. We just haven't had the actual thing come about.
Well, so how do you find time? I mean, wait a minute. Are your grades suffering, Madison?
No.
All right. But how do you find time to do all this?
I just do it whenever I'm free and not doing any work.
Madison Pate, my guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Her mother's here with us, Karen Stoutmire. We'll bring her back into the conversation in just a little bit. So you're also a musician, and when I talked to somebody about the books, they said, oh my gosh, she also plays the saxophone. And that's it's definitely one of the more intriguing instruments as far as the sound. How did you get interested in playing that? Because, you talk about youth playing guitar. It seems like that's one of the first instruments people gravitate towards, or drums. What sparked your interest in the saxophone?
A couple of my friends had played saxophone in junior high, and so when I was in 7th grade, I decided to learn the saxophone for jazz band, and I ended up switching to it long term in 8th grade.
And where do you practice? Who's helping you out? Or are you just picking up notes out of the books? You're buying your book at Walmart and just following the notes? Or
my band directors have helped me throughout the years, but I've mainly been learning everything on my own with my own research and stuff.
Are you using YouTube videos?
Yes.
Because I try to teach myself guitar by using those, and then I just can't. I mean, I guess it takes a certain mind just to understand that. Why is your right middle finger on this button and your left middle finger on that? And just to memorize that. And one cool thing is I learned is you compose music too. How many compositions do you think you put together? I
think as of complete compositions, I've put together 6. 3 of them were arrangements of already existing songs, and 3 of them were original.
And what are your motivations for those songs? Do they all have like a similar inspiration? Are they about peace and love? Are they about plants? Or are they about cars? Or
well, so far all of my original compositions were inspired by specific scenes in the books.
You are working a big branding company here. You're associating it all together. So eventually there will be a soundtrack then for the Brick of Sound series.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, that's all right. Very cool. Again, Madison Pate, our guest this morning. She's a senior at Carrollton High School. She's just recently launched her 3rd book in her Brick of Sound series. Her mom is here too with us, Karen Stoutmire. And people interested in getting this book, where can you get it? Is it Amazon? Do you have it? We've got a couple local bookstores in town here. Are they able to get that as well, or do they have to go to Carrollton High School and get that?
All 3.
All 3.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and possibly Target.
The local Target?
Online, I think.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Bucks a Million. I haven't heard about that one in a long time. I used to love to go to Borders out here in, at the Douglasville Mall. But, well, ladies, we're going to take our first break and come back and continue our conversation. Anybody watching, I encourage you to post any comments or questions up on our News Talk 1330 Facebook page, and I will share them with our guests this morning. Again, they are Madison Pate and Karen Stoutmire, as we talk about Brick of Sound series, talk about composing music and playing music, and just trying to give us some hope about the youth in our community. So we'll talk to you more in about a minute. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
I'm Michael Flynn, Oak Mountain Academy class of 1978.
Katie Flynn, class of 2010.
Justin Flynn, class of 2014.
Logan Flynn, class of 2019.
And I'm Marnie Flynn, current teacher at OMA.
My uncle Richard Orm Flynn, a founding father of Oak Mountain Academy, had a vision to see students become confident leaders who hold a faith-based value system in an academically rigorous environment. We are proud to celebrate 60 years of fulfilling my uncle's vision.
Our family invites you to visit the campus or oakmountain.us today.
.842, welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice, News Talk 1330 FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. My name is Colin Worthington. Our guests this morning, Madison Pate, sitting to my right. To her left is Karen Stoutmire. She doesn't want to say much, but we're gonna have to bring her into this conversation here. There was some guy on Facebook just now. He posted Viandi. I think he said he's listening. Does that matter?
It matters, and I want to make sure, I didn't say that when I first started, but I want to make sure that her father is acknowledged, because he has been very valuable, not only in her life, but also with this book. I mean, he's the one that she went to originally, and he also helps do a bulk of from the publishing to the sending the finished product to the different places and everything, the ordering the bookmarks. He's very, very valuable to her business, as well as, ensuring that she does what she needs to do relative to, launching her books each time.
Yes, good job, Dad. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to dismiss. I was just trying to set that up. Young lady named Lashaka, I think.
Yes, stepmom, and she's, bonus mom. Let me clarify that. She's also very, very key. Whenever we have our book signings, we have the whole team, all of us come together to make sure that Madison is very successful.
That is. That's very nice.
So, yes.
And she said they're all very proud of you.
Yes.
You mentioned the business. I didn't even think about the prospect of making some dinero on this thing. So is that, I don't think we want to talk about how much money you make. Is there like a percentage of this, when you put together a book like that and you let somebody publish it? How does that work out? Do you get a certain percentage? And then you got to pay your agent? Who's your dad, I guess?
I believe I get a certain percentage.
Yeah. And are you saving that money for college? Or are you going to buy a new saxophone? Or are you buying jackets like that?
Jackets.
Yeah.
Jackets and instruments.
Yeah, absolutely. How many saxophones do you have?
3.
And why do you need different ones?
Because they sound different and have different purposes in the band.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a soundproof room in your house?
I wish.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, look, Steve Graddick's got carpet all over the place. In the back, or we could just peel it off these walls, and you could just put it. I'm sure Mom would love that. Have a room just covered with carpet. That's that's what they use now. I had a studio at one of my old houses about 10 years ago. I ordered all this styrofoam off of eBay. It cost way too much, and it's still up there. It's not my house anymore, but I think the people who have that house.
Let's not give her any ideas.
I think she has enough ideas, Mom. When we were in the break, you mentioned 3 books have already been put out, but there's still 2 more in the works, and it's still in this series, right? Brick of Sound, and why aren't those puppies out yet?
I finished the 4th one, and the 5th one is still a work in progress, and it's almost done. I'm just waiting on it to be finished, proofread.
Who does that?
My mom.
See, that's good work. The ideas behind the Brook of Sound. I mean, are you having trouble? I mean, if you've got these characters, I mean, are they the same characters all the way through?
Most of the time, but I've introduced a couple along the way and introduced a different cast in the last book.
Are there nice little lessons to learn at the end of each of them?
Yes.
Like what? What's? Give me a good lesson.
Okay, I don't know any exact examples, but it's really a story about, I guess, friendship. I don't know any exact lessons that they give off the top of my head.
Just be nice. There's nothing angry that comes out there where you're saying take over the government or anything like that. Secret stuff in there.
No.
Speaking of government, I mean, do you have any interest in that in political things? And Carrollton High School, I'm assuming they teach some kind of civics courses or something similar. Do you pay attention to that at all?
When I did have government class, I did pay attention.
Well, good, but really no interest. It's not something that motivates your music at all, or
no.
You're interested in there. Well, what do you think, Mom? I mean, is this what? Are you surprised at how she took an interest at such a young age to write that, and and of course Dad helping out? I mean, that's still impressive at age 13.
Yeah, well, I was surprised when she decided to publish. When she was in 5th grade, she was writing I don't know if it was considered a series, the Chronicles. She was writing for one of her teachers, Miss Sherry Davis. And at that time, I thought she was going to publish then because I knew she was writing a lot of material for her when she was going through chemo, because she was the one who told me that Madison was writing. I didn't know she was writing to this magnitude until her dad called me and was like, your girl wants to publish a book. And I'm like, a book? I didn't realize she had written that much. So she was very, very discreet about it, and she doesn't really let us know when she's writing. She kind of keeps everything. She's in her room, and she's just on the computer typing away. I had no idea that that's what she was doing,
it's nice,
and not to this magnitude.
Nice
at
of you
least.
guys to mention Sherry Davis. Nice to remember her. So what's next, Madison? You talk about these 2 books that are kind of just in the hopper right now, and we're waiting on that. College.
I'm going to Kennesaw State University for music composition.
And you've already been accepted?
I've been accepted. I just haven't done my band audition yet.
Is there potential for scholarships there?
Yes.
Or all this money that you're wink saving, is any of that can go?
I do have... There are scholarships that I am in the process for.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell us a little bit about your friends, the friends that you did put into these books. I mean, why are they cool enough to be featured in these books, even though they're just based loosely off of them, right?
They're really close to me, so they give me inspiration of different. They give me the inspiration for the different characters that are in the book. So they are loosely based off of them, but they give me inspiration of how to write characters in general, because everyone has different personalities.
Mm-hmm. Who's helped you with the writing? I mean, I have to assume growing up your writing style might change a little bit. You start when you're 13, and maybe you keep rereading that and you see where you could have done something better, or even the character, like a different arc in the story. Is there somebody that you look to help out?
I usually will watch different TV shows or read different series to get different interpretations of characters that have the same personality types.
So are you a big reader then?
Yes.
Yeah, she always been a big reader, Mom?
Yes.
Yeah, did you guys...
very early.
When we talk about, when we see where parents say how important it is to to read to your kid when they're from 2 months on, is that something you guys did?
We definitely
did. And you think that stuck with her?
Yes.
A little bit. Well, let us take our final break here, and I do encourage anybody who's watching us on the Facebook Live to post any questions or comments here for Madison. If you missed where you can find her books, I'll remind you of that in our next segment. Time right now is 8:50. We'll come back with about 9 minutes in this morning's program. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
As a believer in the power of education, we are called to set the standard by shaping and empowering the minds of future generations through quality education. Oak Mountain Academy embraces this philosophy, which is why my children attend this prestigious school. I am elated to serve on the OMA Board of Trustees, where together we prepare students and remind them to trust and believe in the power to transform the world. I'm Dr. Brian Bain, inviting you to celebrate our 60-year legacy of academic excellence. Visit us at oakmountain.us.
Hey, 51, welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice Program, News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Madison Pate and her mother, Karen Stoutmire, my guests on this morning's Community Voice Program. My name is Colin Worthington. People checking in on our Facebook page this morning. Also, Keisha Shackelford. She says hi, Maddie and Carrollton as well. Yeah, I guess, along with the people that you've written about and things. Anybody want to give a big shout out this morning? Any teachers that you think are okay that you want to say, hey?
I'd like to shout out my band directors from the past few years, Miss Menendez, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Carr, and Mr. Trumbull have really helped me out. And as for teachers, my English teacher my freshman year really helped me, Miss Trumbull, and my biology teacher, Miss Sewell, has really been a good help for me.
So are you 18 years old?
Yes. 18.
And so there's a chance next year you're going to go off and be by yourself, away from your parents. You ready for that?
Not really.
No, and I thought about my kid too. My kid at 18 years old, and I don't know if it was because of COVID or maybe we're just maybe being a little more gentle with our children growing up. But he did it. He did it on his own, and he's all right. I mean, I think I was more worried about it actually than he was, but he seems to be doing all right. I'm proud of him. Again, wrapping up our program this morning with Madison Pate and her mom, Karen Stoutmire. Madison has authored 3 books. She's got 2 more in the hopper that are going to be coming out soon. And again, where can we find these books if we're interested, ladies? Where can we find the books? I guess Amazon.com, but...
Yes, Amazon. There are a few, like Books A Million and Barnes & Nobles that have it.
We got store. Underground books.
They might have it. Okay. I'm not
sure. You need to get them some autographed copies, I think.
Okay.
And then the other book store that's on the square. I'm drawing a blank too. I know she's got a lot of cats. Yes. Hortons. Yeah, it's only the oldest bookstore in the state of Georgia. But yes. Yeah, and they've got them as well. Do you plan any more like book signings or anything like that?
When the 4th book comes out, I'm hoping that we can have a book signing, another one at Carrollton.
At Carrollton High School, yeah. So, do you feel like you're a little bit of a celebrity?
No.
People don't walk up to you and say, that's the girl who wrote the books.
Maybe in the band program, but not around school.
In the band program, is there a competition, do you think? I mean, do you feel a competition to, if I think about growing up in sports, there's always a competition to be the best one on the team, whether it's baseball or football. Do you feel, is there that competition in band?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I went to high school, I remember I really avoided the people in the band, and I wish I didn't. I mean, they were, because they turned out, by the time they got to college, they were actually the coolest people, and I wish I'd spent more time with them and learned how to play an instrument. But are you have an interest in composing music with anybody else? Or you just don't need it because it's all in your head, and you're like, I don't want to share the royalties.
I could use some more help with composing when I get to college, but I don't see myself really. I just do everything on my own usually. Yeah. So,
you when you leave here today, do you have to go back to class?
Yes.
Well, then you got 5 more minutes. You need to keep talking for 5 minutes to stretch that out. Otherwise, we're going to close the show off right now, and you get to go back to class.
Okay.
What class do you go back to?
What time is it?
It's about 9 o'clock.
I go back to band.
Oh, well, that's no problem then at all.
Yeah.
You wish you could do that every day. Well, Mom, as we do close out here, I mean, is there anything you want to say as far as, I mean, I guess motivation, inspiration to parents? I mean, because it's a great story. I mean, to have a teenager, a youth, be able to play an instrument, be able to play it well, and be interested in writing music and be interested in writing stories. Especially in an age where it seems like anybody can just write what they want to and just put it out there. Right? But she was still motivated to go through the process to get hard copies out there. And you kind of, and you still want to give credit to Dad and bonus Mom, but
yes.
Yeah, but
well, I know it takes a village, and I feel like that Madison's had a great support system, not just from me and her father and her stepmom or anyone else that's in our family, but we have friends. We have a very, very strong support system. My family always supports. I think that's been important. I think Madison has always been very unique, and I think if that's the message I want to give, I think that it's okay. Because as you can see, Madison's always been very unique. Anyone that's 13 thinking of writing all these words on a piece of paper, is unique. And I think that parents should, embrace that uniqueness, because you never know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. When you do compose, your mom said words on paper, I guess, for the book. But when you compose music, are you doing all the musical symbols and things like that?
I know most of them.
Yeah, and and I did ask you this actually before the show. When you're composing, what do you see in your head? Are you seeing images? Are you seeing the music notes? What are you seeing when you put that together?
I'm seeing the different stories that I'm trying to tell when I'm writing the music piece.
So are you like rereading your stories and then getting that idea? Like if you read a certain part and it's like maybe an anxious part of the story, or it's a sweet part of the story, is that what's changing?
Yes.
Things. All right. Well, ladies, it's been a pleasure. It was good to meet you, and we're wishing you good luck. And Madison, hope you keep us posted on your future, and at least let your mom brag about how good you're doing for us and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And yes. And Karen, when you go back to Douglas County, be sure and tell Trent North we said hi.
I will.
Because he's always been one of our favorites. But
okay.
Well, that's great. Anybody else you want to shout out to? I know you gave a best shout out to your teachers, any of your friends or anything like that who might be listening eventually today, because this is going to be on Facebook forever. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to say, you know what, you didn't say hi to me, Madison. Mm-hmm. They're going to say, I'm not going to be your friend. But then they'll change their mind because they want to be in the book.
Well, I guess my 3 closest friends that have really helped me, Elisa, Liv, and Marlon.
Very cool. Again, thank you, ladies. If you're interested in checking out those 3 books, Brick of Sound, you can do it online. You can do it at our local bookstores. I have 2 bookmarks, and I do have a book, and we're going to try to get Madison to sign that for me here in a little bit. She pretended like we weren't going to be able to find a pen, so I think she's already hoarding her autograph. But thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
For coming out.
Thank you.
And thank you for checking out this morning's program. On tomorrow's Community Voice, we're going to bring in Stacy Williams and Heather Macias from the Haralson County Sheriff's Office. Heather has a new position with the Haralson County Sheriff's Office. Stacy has been associated with some pretty big drug busts over in Haralson County in the last couple of weeks. We're going to talk about that and much, much more. Also, I think the Sheriff's Office over there is working on the budget that they'll present to the Haralson County Board of Commissioners. So that program will be here tomorrow morning at 8:30 on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3, and I believe we'll be doing Facebook Live for that program as well. We've got Joel on the calendar, so hopefully he'll pop in for that. Again, thank you. Have a great Thursday, everybody.